Everything's gone perfectly to plan except for one small flaw. Due to a technical error, look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth!
I thought at least you guys would get some entertainment from this book.
Many of the scenarios that
But this is serious, okay? That's what I love. When you still got to be lighthearted. That is a positive way to deal with this truth that is so profound, so strong, so horrible that, of course, most of society right now is like pleading the fifth, basically cognitive dissonance. That even if the tsunami's coming, they see it and they were told to get out. If they didn't believe it, if they chose not to believe it, that's like a human condition, guys. Look it up. Cognitive dissonance.
I outlined before the pandemic, I didn't outline them as a prophecy, but just as a possibility. Maybe it will happen.
Maybe. These guys were writing about it the whole time before it happened. Wait till you see this.
Not an extremely deadly virus. It's not the Black Death. And look what it's doing to the world. So now just try to think what will be the implications of a much bigger problem like climate change.
We should not have to be lied to and have to go, yeah, right? And they're in power. They don't care about us. Again, read this book. Make sure to go get this book, COVID-19, The Great Reset. That was way before COVID-19, guys. Way before 2020. You need to, oh my God, that book alone. This guy wrote it. Okay. All right. Hold on.
With all the current issues on our agenda, we tend to forget that we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution.
And you see the difference of this fourth.
You guys got to look up this guy. Even without even looking at the book, who is this guy? You're going to find plenty of videos, clips. If you have the time, do it. These people are psychopaths and no one's doing anything. We're all just watching it. And they're the biggest experts going on and on. WEF, Davos, all over the place. Like, oh, look what's happening in Switzerland. All these important globalists with the UN, because they just keep telling you and it makes it sound fine. Like this guy, have you guys seen that video where he says, you will own nothing and be happy. And you must learn how to eat the bugs. Guys, the Hunger Games. Hello, the Hunger Games. I'm not even exaggerating. Again, I am using lighthearted things to get it to make the point. No, I'm not comparing this to a movie and a trilogy of books called The Hunger Games. This is it. That's how profound this is. Like, just Google, just look up one of Bill Gates' TED Talks, but there's not one. There's several where he's constantly talking about getting rid of people, killing people, especially through a vaccine.
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
It's crazy because you're like, wait, did he just say that? Because he's saying get vaccinated. And again, I'm not talking about vaccines. I'm not pro or against, anti. You do what you want. I'm pro freedom and I'm pro using your own mind, your own instinct, and never doubt yourself. That's what I'm for. And I'm just going to get them where they're weak at, which is the same thing they use to brainwash everyone, but through words and hypnosis, which is to repeat those words over and over. So it gets locked in right into your subconscious mind, because that's how it works. That's why if you want a positive life, you get away from negativity. You can't have positivity around negativity. You can definitely not have positivity with negative thoughts. You have to change your thoughts to get that positivity. Okay. Tell me to lecture.
The Industrial Revolution it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changed.
And who are you? You're God. You figured out that you know everything about the human beings and how you can be hacked, how we can implant things in our skin and cut up DNA. You, a fallible human that doesn't even use a quarter of its brain. Or as they say, we just don't know how to use the brain. Because that statement has been said wrong for many decades, which is that we were told, right, that we only used a quarter of our brain or something like that, right? A very small percentage. But the truth is, I forget this guy, the space guy. Oh, I could see his face. I'll have to put the link in the description later. Oh my God. He was that. Okay. I'm gonna drop it. But it's not that. Again, so many things we're told, guys, that are not true. And we believe it, and that's why we live the lives that we live.
And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Well, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And if this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time, not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin.
So I think the first things that I'm hopeful to see it is other vaccines.
I don't know why it's showing this. I don't know if that's how the video was original. I don't remember, but the voice that you're hearing, that's the CEO of Pfizer. Again, they're all gods. There's never been medication that's had recalls. There's never been injuries from vaccines in any way. Nothing. They're perfect. They should be trusted without question. And I don't mind the discussion on whether you're on one side of the fence or that or the other. The bottom line is I want you to pay attention and realize that they're telling everyone constantly how they're going to manage everything. You're going to have no say. And most importantly, we got to get rid of a lot of you or we can't sustain our resources. We can't share them with you. I know it's harsh to understand that, but it's true. They don't want to share it with you. Why would they? If you had a well in your house and you had a bunch of scragglers coming around wanting your water and they don't even want to work for it. Just saying, I'm exaggerating, but a Hollywood moment here. But yeah, you would protect it. You're like, well, I don't know how long this water will last, and I got a family, I got myself. But then take it to another level and how the monarchs from centuries and centuries, all the leaders, dictators, what do? It's all mine, all mine. And I'll give you whenever I want to and how I want to. Because now that I got all the power and I can, I'll do it. Because it goes right to their head. Like somebody who's really good looking and everybody gawks at them and then it goes to their head. I mean, guys, this is very simple shit.
A single vaccine.
Humans are now hackable animals.
See? How is nobody, they play this guy like, look at this, scientist and this. First of all, he's a historian, number one. And he's the consultant, the Klaus Schwab. And this guy's who? Again, I know who he is, but it's the way they're talking that is scary, dangerous, and the fact that they don't give a shit. So whether I'm not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, but clearly my instinct, hold on.
Hopeful to see it is other vaccines, other than COVID. A flu vaccine with mRNA, a single vaccine.
Humans are now hackable animals.
Who are you? That humans are now hackable animals. And again, he's talking about humans like he's not a human and he's not an animal. That's what, look at him.
The whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.
Look at that. Look at that. That's over. I mean, it's not that he just said that's over. He could have also said that will no longer be, or we're hoping to change that. But look at him. They're that arrogant. They have the power. We're going to do whatever they say. And we're stupid and we're meaningless and we're pathetic and we're just useless eaters is literally what they call us. Nobody's paying attention to that. They think inflation, your gas prices, all this stuff, that just happened. You believe it too. Like, oh, now it's just somebody deciding I'm going to switch this. I'm going to dial it up. I'm going to put the volume up higher. That's it, guys. It really is. And here's this guy. That's over. I love how you say that's over. Like, ugh, it's done. I think this guy hates himself. He literally hates himself. Well, just by looking at him, I think he really had a rough life. Maybe not these upper. He got great parents, but he's twisted. I'm getting Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. If you don't know who that guy is, look it up.
Transhumanism, and they talk about the RNA vaccines as an entry point.
That's why I picked this clip, guys, because it gives a lot in a nutshell. But honestly, you got to look up the Harari guy. You got to look up Klaus. Got to look up the Great Reset, because you won't do what they tell you to do when you find out. You won't. You would never stick your hand in a hole that you knew it was going to get bit off. You would never do that. Not unless it's like a joke and you really don't care about having your hand back. You know, you could be that person, but most of us would not want to play that game or play that dare or prank, or there's not enough money in the world to get us to put our hand in a hole full of snakes or, you know, or an alligator or whatever the thing is that's going to bite it off. Take note. I'm definitely going to do an entire live podcast on these guys right here. This whole transhumanism, Yuval Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab. We're going to talk about that. And it's not about the vaccines. That's not where I'm going to go with it. I want to show you who they are. That's my goal. Thank you for being here. Much love, many blessings. Have a fantastic day, and don't let the bastards get you down.